Probably not too much longer anyway.
Okay.
I fucked up. I stopped the video, so this is going to be a two-parter. Because I'm really good at this, as everybody can tell. I'm old hand at making content. And I really want to be good at it, too. It's really my ambition to be a pro.
Well, yeah. I mean, wouldn't it be great to take away from practice time?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
to learn how to do video
to learn how to... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the jam I get into, like, on lots of stuff. Like, should I spend more time... If I wanted to make additional progress or, like, accelerate, I guess, how much better I could get... Because, I mean, that's really what it is. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not playing for anybody right now.
Yeah.
You know, whatever food it is I'm cooking,
Yeah.
people don't seem to want right now. That's fine.
Yeah.
One, like, I only know metal people, more or less. And, like, that
Yeah,
is
you're
the pure,
swimming in the wrong,
is the pure
in the
and friend group.
pools, I think.
And, you know... It's not necessarily what they want served, and that's okay, because I do really like hanging out and playing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, whenever I have any chunk of planned free time, it's coming here and playing for as long as I possibly can.
No, I
mean,
I'm super impressed by your schedule, because you, like... What time do you go in to start your process in the factory?
I mean, my hours, like, are... super varied at this point, but yeah, thankfully, like, it's actually way easier to keep a proper practice schedule versus a band practice schedule, because I left, like, the fine dining end of my industry again post-COVID, and also that happened to kind of coincide with, like, Bellas had ended like a year or so earlier, so yeah, it changed. It was easier to do a band practice, and, like, there's lots of bands and lots of dudes that, like, okay, well, my playing time is band practice, and that is your time to, you know,
I know plenty of
succeed
people
or
like
fail.
that,
Like, plenty of people, like, work that way.
Yeah.
But for me, what I liked the most about being in a band was going to band practice, because I liked hanging out with everybody, and I really like having fun and working on songs with my friends, because that to me is the most fun part.
So anybody watching this who is a sick, weird player in NYC,
oh yeah,
you know, contact my people, I'll contact your people, we'll set this guy up.
For sure. But it was less of a sad, like, dating video, and more
like the VHS one.
Yeah. I've been watching so many of those.
I like doing things. I don't like serial killing. I swear I don't like serial killing.
I enjoy Garfield. Lasagna is my favorite food.
I too dislike Mondays.
Yeah.
I would like to kill. I mean, not kill Mondays.
Yeah, it's so many YouTube holes on that shit. Like, way more than should be or is productive. But, like, yeah, I mean, of being in a band, going to band practice was the best, and still practicing the instrument that I like to play. Fortunately enough, like, that is my favorite thing to do. And, I mean, trying to get better and learn different things about, whether it's about the instrument or a kind of music that you like, don't like.
And I know you tend to, one thing I really like about your sort of discipline is you tend to come in here and, like, be like, I'm working on this.
Yeah.
Or I'm working on these. But it's, like, very specific ambitions for the day of, like, cool shit you've heard that you want to try to get down. And that's a wonderful way to practice.
Sometimes it takes a really long time to, because, like, you beat me up on this one, but, like, I'm not a real fucking drummer in my brain, at least, because, like, I didn't take lessons. I didn't join marching band in high school because marching band was for nerds. Not that I wasn't, like, the biggest fucking nerd, but you know what I mean?
Different kind of nerd.
Yeah, but like, it was just not, that was not an option.
That was a weird culture.
And just, the bandos were, that was a weird vibes. But yeah, that wasn't it. So there was no formal education. It was literally, it was the thing that I liked to do when I got home from school. It was the thing that, like...
Did you ever take lessons?
No. Like, literally, like I said, my dad saying
Yeah.
1 Eana, 2 Eana.
Yeah.
And my uncle trying to explain what a paradiddle was. That was it. And a lot of it was, find this record, listen to that. Hey, what did you think of this? Because I kind of came like, yeah, metal has always, or like heavier, aggressive music has always been a part of my life, or something like around that I enjoy. But like old prog rock and like goofball, like out there jazz shit was the stuff that like I was really, really passionate about in high school, in college, even like I remember seeing, you were in Chicago in like the early 2000s. You remember the Chicago underground duo or trio, and then they had a quartet and all sorts of, it was this cornet player. I think he used to work at like the Empty Bottle or something, you know, but like Rob Mazurek.
What was it called?
It was a Chicago underground duo.
Oh,
it was like literally, and
I thought you were describing it.
Like that kind of stuff was really the drummer is Chad Taylor. Is like amazing, like amazing musician and percussionist, like in general. Like writes these gorgeous tone poems, like really, really interesting artist. But like I was really, really into like his playing, probably when I hit college. And yeah, like that was kind of the first time I had to make myself get past like the rock idioms that I knew and the ego attached to that.
I see.
Of like, no, it's like this, and you know,
you got to do this. If your right hand doesn't do this, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, and you're doing it wrong. And to watch, because I went and saw him play, and everything was really, really cool and kind of formative. But like the fluidity, and I wouldn't put it any other way, but like the grace.
Grace is a wonderful word.
That he played with. And that translates to the sound. Like if you pick up, it's, I
think some guys are elegant players.
Absolutely, there is like an elegance and a sophistication going on, even with like how much power or you know placement. Like oh wow, that was right behind the and on this, or you know whatever it is that you're like trying to zero in on is super super cool. And yeah, like always like whatever it is I'm working on. In the back of my head, like that guy's playing
right on
is always like kind of still there, whether it's something I'm concentrating or not. I guess particularly as I say, it's definitely not your vibe. But Sam Prekop's first solo record, I think it came out in like 2001 or something like that. But he plays drums on that, and it's like it's very kind of like smooth jazz, Afro-Cuban vibes. But I don't know if it makes sense, but it's sort of in the same vein that like dudes now like in like hipster bands or whatever. I'm sorry I said that. It's an awful.
They exist.
I'm hating myself for it right now. But like the like the fake yacht rock and all the shit that like folks are really down for, and some of it is sick. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like some of it I've got zero qualms with. I'm like, nah, that's pretty cool. But it was sort of that vibe, but like 20 years ago.
Right.
Like they were like doing Steely Dan, like with the guy's other band, C and Cake or whatever. Like,
I fucking hate Steely Dan.
Okay, but you can't hate the fact that like they write interesting music, whether you enjoy it.
No, for sure. I think they're a phenomenal band. I just despise them.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely room to be like, fuck Steely Dan. I mean, we've got this Steve Albini fuck Steely Dan thing. I never even noticed on the wall.
That predates our time in this room.
Which, I mean, there you go, man.
Yeah, fuck Steely Dan.
But even that like whole vibe, Sam Prekop's record is not that, but like it's similar like. I don't know, retro at a time where that wasn't necessarily a hip retro choice to make.
It's like intentionally unhip.
almost intentionally unhip, but the songs are so beautiful. But yeah, I don't know why we got on that weird tangent, because this was more about like how the choices that Chad Taylor made on that record, like as to how he was going to play, or playing his hi-hat, like that's what made me stop really any curiosity about playing double bass.
Interesting.
Was the way the hi-hat was used.
You wanted to be able to utilize that tool.
Totally.
Not abandon it, which sometimes we have to do when we're double kicking.
Well, I mean, when you're double kicking, you got a choice, and quite frankly, like, you know, it's fucking metal. I want to hear some fucking double kick. Like, this shit's sick.
Yeah.
Like, there's
I
like,
do love it.
For single kick and everything, that's fine. That's cool. That's what I had to do because of my limitation. But like, double kick is fucking sick.
I do love a good single foot blast, which you brought to the table. Right to the table.
Well, it's definitely needs to. I mean, that's the other part that I think is important people remember too. Is like, you can learn something, but if you don't do it, like super consistently, you will lose it.
You will lose it, but you can always.
You can also get it back.
You'll always get it back, and like, I definitely have spent times in my life where I'm like, am I never going to be good again? Am I never going to get this back? And like, no. You put in the work, you have patience and grace with yourself, and you'll get back there.
Totally.
But you have to put in the work.
But I mean, even like pro dudes, like that, like, oh yeah, give me the charts and I'll do it. They can't do all of that stuff at an insane high level all the time.
Yeah, totally.
So like, if they can't do it, you definitely can't do it.
Totally.
And that's totally chill. Like, that's okay. Like, don't be on your.
Believe it or not, not everything you've heard is a first take in the studio without edits. You know?
Or you know,
that's not
on
the norm.
Instagram or YouTube or whatever else.
You probably, I think a lot of the Instagram guys are doing it for real, but you're probably seeing the one truly great take,
super sick take
of 100 takes,
which is super hard. I can't even imagine like the pressure of like trying to pull something off with a camera rolling. Like,
but it's also sad and boring to me. Like trying to be perfect is a fool's game.
No, it doesn't happen. But like, that's the whole. If we could all learn something and be absolutely perfect at it, it wouldn't be that much fun.
No, it wouldn't be fun at all.
You know, it was like.
Nobody likes hitting the level cap in the game before you finish the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, I'm OP. Like, oh, well, this isn't even cool. Like, no, you gotta like, and the cool part is we can control the difficulty level.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like I try and pick shit that like I have no idea sometimes what the fuck is even happening. Because again, I'm not great at reading, so they could have it, you know, transcribed for me, and I'm just like,
dude, sometimes
cool.
Sometimes I'll look at a chart and I'll have no idea, and I listen and I'll be like, okay, this makes sense. And sometimes vice versa. I listen, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I see the chart, I'm like, oh, that's what's going on.
That's clever, right? But I for myself want to develop that tool more, especially because there's two dudes that I do follow on Instagram that like both have like a body of work on how they build things. Like their beats or patterns or whatever else, cool. And I would love to be able to tap into that in a different way than like monkey see, monkey do. Because learning different stuff, you know, it's good for your brain, and it makes you. It also like it kicks that dopamine wheel. Yeah, man. You know, like and
there's a lot of reward.
A lot of this is dopamine gaming.
Absolutely. You like feeling like you've accomplished something through your own self and work. Totally. Is a powerful thing. But it also has that dark side of frustration and self-doubt and all that.
No, it makes you feel terrible.
It's a double-edged sword, but when it works fucking great. Well, shit, man. I don't know if I have any more shit to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, the guy that I baked with. Anyway, the whole point of that fucking story. Sorry, guys. Like, fucking talking in circles. Was like he was a drummer.
Gotcha.
And then the guy that I met that taught him,
he was a drummer,
is also a drummer. And I'm actually still like, I saw him shit like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
You saw him shit?
No, fuck off. This older gentleman, he's based out of New Jersey, and he deals in equipment that I use in my industry. And
so you just think there's this timing thing.
He's like my bread grandfather. Like if I think about it, like from
very
taught
cool.
you and taught you. But like he played drums. One of the guys in like professionally, like as a baker or technical like dude on that front. They're so
Technical
fucking,
dude.
a technical dude. So articulate, man. I'm really knocking that out of the fucking park. Also a drummer.
Sick.
Like there's so much.
There's something about timing.
There is something there
universal.
that it's about timing that's universal. That I don't know. It makes when I try and camera zoom out sometimes, what I do and why I play,
the whole of you,
and all of that.
Yeah.
It really does kind of make sense.
I
in
feel
terms
you,
of
man.
timing and everything else.
I feel you. I know for me that's something
And
that's
what scratches that itch.
later in life, realizing what makes me me. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And, how the tendrils all connect to each other in ways that you don't always see.
No, you don't.
As yourself. Well, man, that was a fucking pleasure.
Yeah, it was. It did not go anywhere where I thought it was going to,
Sick.
and it was super fun.
That means we did it right.
Yeah, right.
And you all can happily fuck off.